Hey BookTube, it's Jackie. How's it going? If you are new to me and it's the first time you're seeing my face, hello, what's up? My name's Jackie. I sit on my floor and I talk about books. So that's why you're here, because that's what's gonna be happening today. If you're not new to me, thank you for always tuning in and continued support. I really do appreciate it. So today I'm so excited for today's video because as you can see from the day's title of the video, it is a book review and it is on a new release from the queen of dark and fucking twisted and fuck me up sideways, Mo Jones. This is Boneyard Tides, ladies and gentlemen. Boneyard Tides, the new installment to a brand new series that is coming out from Mo Jones. It releases April 10th, and I am so fucking stoked to talk about this. I was selected to be part of her art team, so this is my non-paid, non-sponsored, just because I fucking love this bitch, and I want to rant, and I want to rave, and I want to gush, and I want to be like, why are you fucking messing me up, bitch? Stop! Kind of review. So if you like that, grab yourself a drink, have yourself a seat. Let's get talking about this fucking roller coaster of a ride of a book. Okay, so it is Boneyard Tides by Mo Jones. This is the first installment to the Gothic series. I thought originally it was supposed to be a duet, but it looks like now it's going to be a quartet. And the author is the queen herself, Mo Jones. Yes, yep, that crazy ass bitch. Yep, we're talking about her. The release date for this book is April 10th, 2023. So if you are seeing this after April 10th, you are already able to go find this book and check it out for yourself. And I hope you do, because it's a grand fucking time. It's a great fucking time. Really, it is. Seriously. But if you are seeing this prior to April 10th, you cannot get it until then. And I was provided an e-arc to review, so I was actually not provided the final copy. So there are some... So if you read this book after April 10th, you will be receiving a copy that might be slightly different in certain areas. The grammatical errors and continuity errors probably will have been corrected. So for this review, I will not be going into any of that nitty gritty kind of shit, because she's a pro. She knows, her staff is fine. They'll fix all that stuff. We're just talking about the actual meat and potatoes of this fucking book. A few stats of this book. First installment to what will look like to be a quartet now is told through multiple POVs, and it is a Gothic romance, reverse harem, why choose? And we have a fucking page of triggers. This bitch has triggers, and it's a page long. So instead of rewriting them, I'm just gonna read the shit. I'm gonna read exactly what this bitch has to say about her triggers for this book. So let me get my little Kindle out, open up. All right, here you go. Hades Hollow has underlying secrets, and you're going to follow in the footsteps of our new girl, Shiloh St. Clair, to find them. Boneyard Tides is book one of a 4-book series. Every book will be told from all 4 of their point of views. If at any time you think, God damn, and what the fuck is going on here? Well, then you're reading a Mo Jones book. The day I no longer give this to my readers is the day I should set my pen down. Now, back to the series. Without giving too much away, because 4 books, you know, that is the Gothic romance. It's not my usual harsh, dark romance that slaps you in the face and knocks you right the fuck out. This one is going to creep up on you. It's not written to be dark, but I still found some aspects of it quite daunting, and I mean me. But also, here are the triggers. Violence, death, gore, supernatural conversations, blood play, rough sex, rape, group sex, BDSM, forced proximity, dubious consent, primal play, slightly underage but consensual sex. Don't fucking at me about this one. One kills people for fun. You're really gonna give a fuck about a birth date. I love this bitch. I do. I love her. She said what she said. Praise, degradation, abuse, serial killer, mean as fuck, gonna fuck her up, bully. Okay, that was actually quite a lot of triggers for a Gothic romance. I did not write this book to make friends. That's the first thing you must understand about my books. I keep it real with my characters, and sometimes they may make some people uncomfortable, which is why this book is not suitable for anyone under the age of 18. This book is twisted. It's fucked me up all the way. It may even top Elite Kings. Some big words. No, it definitely tops the EKC. Even bigger words. It gave me 2017 Mo Jones vibes. I was in my element, and now you can experience it. See you in therapy. Bye. So yeah, that's the triggers for this book. Lots of darks and twisty ones. Now, do you see every single one of these? Yes, you see every single one of these triggers in this book. Are they to the degree where they are in your face? Yes. Yes, they are. She's not kidding. This is not for the faint of heart. None of her books are. It's kind of standard for her. And one trigger she did forget is that you will be left fucked up in the head. Okay? You will be left fucked up in the head. But if you can handle that, this bitch is a good time. So, why did I choose this book? Well, for one, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan of Mo Jones, and ever since I read The Silver Swan, which is the first installment to Elite Kings Club series, after I read that book, I needed cigarette, I needed Jesus, and I needed therapy in that fucking order. And I wanted to see if the bitch could do it again. I wanted to see if she could do it, because that was fucking awesome. So I walked into this book with a lot writing on it. I also was following her on TikTok and Instagram, and I saw all the teasers for this, and I just thought the concept of this book was fucking awesome. I liked the beach kind of setting with the ocean and the sand and the surfer element. I'm originally from California. I'm originally from Southern California. I know I don't fucking look like it, okay? I know. But I am actually originally from Southern California. I do not know how to surf, but it's something that I always thought was really cool to watch. And I just really liked this vibe and this element that she was giving with these teasers. Also, I am not the biggest fan of reverse harems or wide chooses. I tend to usually hate the chick. I love the guys, hate the chick. And I love a Mo Jones, so I was hoping that this woman could write me a reverse romance that I could get behind. So, lots of going into this book, a lot of reasons why I chose it, and also I tried really hard to get on this ARC team. I filled out as many forms as I could. I liked everything. I tried to get my name over there as much as I could to be on this ARC team because I just wanted to be part of this because I'm such a huge fan of her. Mo Jones is actually one of my backlist authors for the 2023 where I'm trying to read down her entire backlist. So a chance to be on an up-and-coming new series, I couldn't miss this opportunity. I was so happy that they picked me. Even after all the technical difficulties trying to get the book to my Kindle, we were able to get it, and I just, had a great fucking time. So let's actually get into this. A quick summary about this book. We follow Shiloh St. Clair, who is about to turn 18, and three men, Sparrow Dixon, Malik Carrera, I think is how you say his name, and Dion Quinn. Shiloh hears through the grapevine about the game. But no one's talking about the game or what the game is. It's just the game. As soon as it gets brought up, no one talks about it. But someone always seems to bring it up. She hears about it, and after a night of partying with her friends, she gets a text message that invites her to be a participant in the game. And she says, what do you think? Oh yeah, she fucking says yes. This bitch is crazy. Let's go for it. I want to see what the big hype is about. So she's invited to play. She's picked up in a really fucking baller-ass car, brought to a mansion, and then she finds two of her friends, Rune and Cooper, and then everything just goes black. Yep. Fade to black scene, guys. Cut right fucking there. We wake up the next morning in a location she's not familiar with, and this is where we get introduced to one of our male leads of Sparrow Dixon. He informs her in a very twisty, dark, sadistic kind of way that she was not picked for the game and she's free to go. As soon as she leaves, the game really begins. And that's where our story really sets off. Because this is a Mo Jones. I can't give you any more than that without spoiling this fucking book. I can't in this summary because that is how this one writes. Everything matters in her books. Every little minute detail, every little twist and turn, everything you think is obsolete and not important, any random conversations, they're fucking important. All of them are fucking important. And after you read her enough, you'll start seeing this. So that's about as much as I can give you comfortably without spoiling any of the big reveals in this book. So what I thought worked in this book. I loved the formatting. Now, this is a formatting that I've seen with a Mo Jones before. We have two stories being told simultaneously, two main stories. We have this story that happened in the past, and then we have our current present day story. And as you're seeing these two stories unfold, you are getting revelations and reveals and details that help emphasize the other stories going on. Now, along with this formatting, it's also told in multiple POVs. So from Shiloh's perspective, Sparrow, Malik, and Dion's perspective. So we're getting all these different perspectives, which are giving us other details and clues within these two elemental stories. Because within each POV, we have a previous story and a current story and every single POV. So really, we have like 8 storylines fucking going. 8. Gets a little convoluted at times, but that's one of her MOs. It's something how she does in a lot of her books, and she does it flawlessly. She does it really, really well. It sounds really confusing as fuck to read, but once you get the hang of it and the rhythm of it, it makes sense. And you start to see the connections. You start seeing the tie-ins to these backstories and these previous stories and things over here and things over here. You start to see all the tie-ins. So she handles that formatting really, really well. It's something that she works well within. It's something that she's practiced. It's an art form for her, and she does a fantastic job. So you're in good hands. Even though it sounds confusing, you're in good hands. Trust me. This story has a lot of suspense in it, and I love it. I love the suspense element of this book. I started reading this Saturday, finished it Sunday. I had to put it down. I had to have 2 sittings because I had to do Easter holiday crap. But if I didn't have to do any of that, I would have read straight through. This would have been a 1-sitting read for me. It read super fucking fast, kept me turning the pages. Mo Jones does this. She gives you just enough detail and just enough vagueness that you're just like, one more page, one more chapter. Yeah, I can't end on that. Nope, I'm not gonna go sleep if that's how you're gonna fucking end this. I'm not sleeping right now. We're gonna continue going. It's just she keeps giving you more and more and more, and she ups the ante. She infuses you more. She gives you a bigger, stronger hit each time when she thinks you're gonna start putting it down. And then you get a bigger hit and you're like, yep, well, I'm stuck again. God damn it. I'm in. I'm in. Let's do this. Suspense was fucking phenomenal. I had a great time with her suspense. I have a great time with all of her suspense because she's so good with it. It's just the right amount. It's just perfecto amount. It's perfect. Her revelations. All right. I have said this about Mo Jones before, and she does it exquisitely in this book as well. When it comes to her big reveals, and in this book, because it is the first installment, we have a lot of world building, we have a lot of backstory building, which she does really, really well, but she still works with her reveals, and she still gives us enough to keep us motivated and keep us wanting to continue to read. So here's what she does. You have your like 8 fucking storylines going. You have your past storyline for each character, and you have your present storyline for each fucking character, okay? She builds here, and she's building, and they're all just kind of raising gradually. And then eventually, at one point in time, one storyline starts to elevate way over all the others, and you're starting to lose these. And it's not, this is not making sense anymore. It's just, I don't know what the fuck's going on. What the fuck is going on with this? I have no idea. And then she just drops it. Just stops talking about it. And you're like, you're just gonna leave me like that? What? That's like, why are you teasing me like this? The fuck, man? You get kind of pissed. But here's what she does. Is after she drops you, she comes over this storyline that you've kind of almost forgotten about. And then she starts to elevate it. And then she gives you a reveal in this storyline that actually makes no fucking sense in this storyline, but it answers this fucker over here. So it forces you to cross-connect these stories over and over and over till you have this going on in your fucking brain the entire fucking book. She is a master at this elevated reveal thing she's got going on. I have no idea what her fucking storyboards look like. I don't know if she just randomly has all of her plot lines and plot points on a board and throws a fucking dart and says, oh, this is going to be in chapter 4, even though it doesn't really apply until chapter 24. But it fucking works for this bitch. It does, and it's phenomenal. She does such a good fucking job with it. She is a master at these reveals. It's so seamless that when it happens, you don't even realize that it's happening. And then another reveal happens that further explains this reveal that answered this storyline, gives it even more depth, which elevates this one and elevates this one. And then this little guy over here, down here, who's all forgotten, is shot to the forefront because this reveal is really about this guy. It is a multiple cross-platform reveal situation, and she does it so well. But by the end of the book, all of these cross-point reveals, this kaleidoscope of this has now turned into this. And by the end, it is all balanced. And you're like, Okay. All right. I have a pretty good footing what's going on. I do. And then she puts the what the fuck moment. Then she drops you. She takes this nice balanced plateau that you finally trucked your way through, and you're almost exhausted from putting all these cross connections together. And you're almost about to be like, I can't handle anything more. And then she drops this fucking bomb on you, and you're like, what in the fuck am I supposed to do with this? And then the book's over. Trademark, Mo Jones. Trademark. That is the big fuck you moment. You think you got her? You think you figured it out? You think you're let in on the big, huge fucking secret? Ah! Yeah, okay. What the? Yeah, no. She laughing at you. She's laughing at you and drinking your tears. Brilliant. Brilliant. The big what the fuck moment. And this what the fuck moment is so strong and so compelling and hits every single fucking storyline. It connects all of them, but at the same time, it fucks them all up, throws them all on their heads, and you are left back at square one, begging and pleading for book 2 the minute you shut this book. The minute you shut it, you want book 2 in your hands because that is just too much. Heart palpitations, stroke, blacking out, the whole fucking 9 yards. You're there. You're there, and goddamn is it fucking awesome. It is great. It is fucking awesome. It is. I just love it. I love what she does with her revelations and then the big F you moment. Oh, it's fucking beautiful. She does it so, so well. She has mastered that art. Mastered it, and goddamn is it gorgeous. It is phenomenal. Now, another thing she handled really well in this book is I listed off a lot of dark triggers. She handles them all very, very well. Now, she says she didn't write this book to make friends. She's very honest with her characters. She is. These triggers are dark. They are twisted. They are mean. They are cruel. And you see that. But, the way they are handled and the way they are used is very, very tactful. She does have a lot of tact handling a lot of these dark, serious elements. They're very real and they're very brutal, but that's one of the tactful sides that she has, is she doesn't sugarcoat it. She doesn't lie about the brutality of a murder. She doesn't lie about the brutality of a rape. She's honest and forefront about some of the darker triggers and the things that go with it. So you are fully aware of what your characters are going through. And yes, could that be scaring to a lot of readers? Yes, but to some readers, that is something to be respected. That quality and that talent to handle such dark things well. And she does a really, really good job of it. I don't have any triggers. I just don't. And if I did, I'm one of those bitches that I'm just like, I'm going to go through it anyway, because why the fuck not? That's just me. And I really enjoy authors who are not afraid to use heavy-hitting triggers, dark elements in their books when they have a reason and when they are utilized correctly. Now, here's the thing with Mo Jones. Does everything in the book have a reason? Yes. Do you know what the reason is in this installment? No. No, you don't. So there's a lot of stuff that happens in these books. You're probably wondering, what the fuck did she have to do that for? Like, why was that even necessary? Why was that necessary? That was completely unnecessary at all. Because you haven't gotten to the next installment yet. See, the trick with the Mo Jones that I have learned is when I first reviewed her very first book, Elite Kings Club, when I read it, The Silver Swan, I was annoyed by all the unanswered questions that I had. And I was pissed, and it pissed me off. It did. But I was wrong, because all those unanswered questions got answered in book 2, and it took a whole fucking book to answer those questions. And I've read enough of her to know that if you have unanswered questions, you just let it go. You don't bring them up. You don't bitch and complain about it, because this woman will take all those and be like, oh, you wanted to complain? No, here I'm going to give you a whole book answering all those fucking questions and make it even twistier and darker. So, knowing that about her, all these dark elements in this book that may be considered shock value in this installment, I believe will have be further developed in the further installments. So knowing that going forward, I know that these triggers are handled well. Do they look like they necessarily are in this installment only? No, but I know because I've read enough of Mo Jones that this is one of her things. It's one of her shticks, one of her strong suits is always making sure things are handled the right way. You just sometimes have to wait for it. And she's worth the wait, people. She's worth the fucking wait, okay? She's queen for a reason. All right? And one of the last things that really fucking worked in this book was her damn sex scenes. Bitch can write a sex scene, all right? Damn, that was hot. There's not a lot of them in here, and we'll get into it, but the ones that we did get, yeah, they were fucking fantastic. They did not disappoint. They did not disappoint at all. I thoroughly enjoyed them all. I enjoyed all of them. I enjoyed the build-ups. I enjoyed the innuendos. I enjoyed the sly tongue-in-cheek inside jokes that we have going on that we don't realize are inside jokes, but you kind of get the gut feeling that they are. So I'm really hoping to find out those stories later because then that will make that joke even better. I love them. I love them. She did a really, really good job with her sex scenes. Now, I love a Mo Jones. I had a great time with this book, but I still found things that didn't necessarily work for me. And I do want to talk about those just because this is a honest review. This is what I was asked to give, so this is my honest review. These are the things that didn't work for me and just personally for me. So I did read The Silver Swan, which is the first installment to the Elite Kings Club series. I will be honest, I have not read the entirety of the Elite Kings Club series. I've only read the first 2 installments. But I found a lot of similarities in this first installment to a series to the Elite Kings Club's first installment, The Silver Swan. The game component, really, really similar. Some of the revelations, the actual revelations, not just how they were come about, the actual revelations themselves were very similar to Elite Kings Club. There was a lot of similarities for me, and that kind of bothered me. Now, I know that Mo Jones wrote The Silver Swan and Elite Kings Club series, so I can get over it, but I felt like because I know the caliber of her writing and I know how brilliant of a writer she is, that there shouldn't have been as many similarities to this book as there was. I felt like that was not so much leaning on a crutch, but she was using her normal tricks and trades, but she wasn't differing in them enough for me to separate the 2 elements. Now, that is because I just recently read A Silver Swan. So maybe if I had read it when it originally came out, it would have been far enough away that that wouldn't have happened because I just read The Silver Swan last year. So maybe it's still fresh enough in my mind that I see a lot of those comparisons. So that was a little bothersome for me, but not bothersome enough that I didn't enjoy the book itself for its own merit. It's just there was a lot of similarities. There, for me, was not enough time with these characters to really have the punch that these revelations I know were supposed to have. Were they shocking? Yes. Were they on point? Yes. Did they tie everything in a nice bow? No. I'm not going to get a book tied up in a nice little bow with a Mo Jones. I'm just not going to fucking get it. Okay? But what I needed to make these revelations more, I needed more time with the characters. I needed more instances with them. I needed more moments with them. Not grand concepts. I needed more internal moments with just the characters. I needed more depth between the characters. I didn't necessarily need more chemistry. I just needed more history with the characters together is what I needed. I needed more to work with. So when these revelations came up, I felt more of what the character was feeling for that revelation at that point in that reveal. And I needed that with the original 4 characters, and especially with some of the newer characters that were introduced right at the tail end of the book that looked to be vital members of this plot line they are written in a way that I feel like they're going to be vital members. And I did not have enough time with them for their reveals to fucking matter to me at all. It was just, oh, well, okay. And move on. It wasn't, oh, what the fuck did she just do? What the fuck did she just do to me? I didn't have enough time with them. And I really wish I would have, because I really liked these characters. I really liked who they were. I liked Shiloh. I had a really good fucking time with her. I loved the fact that she was kind of a dual character. I loved this dual side to her, but we didn't really get enough of either side for me to really latch on to either one, but I just know that they're dual. I loved Sparrow. I loved him. And I wanted more of him. And I didn't get more of him. Malik, I know that there is so much more to this character. This guy is my Rubik's Cube character. That's what I like to call the character that has so many sides that it literally takes the whole fucking series to really unpuzzle him and figure out the nice, beautiful, symmetrical, all perfectly formed picture. He's my Rubik's Cube character. And I didn't get enough of him to really even start figuring out the formula to fix the Rubik's Cube. Dion, I needed more from him with Shiloh. He's the only one that we actually get some history back with Shiloh, a clear-cut history, and I needed to see more of those moments to really understand the anger between them, what went down between them, and how it morphed into what it is. I needed more instances with these characters. I felt that this installment was lacking that. And so the character connections were not as strong, and because those connections weren't as strong, the big reveals between the characters didn't hit the way I know that they were supposed to, and I know the way they can. So that was a little bit of a letdown for me. Now for my spice rating. This is a 3 chili pepper, guy. This is a 3 chili pepper. Normally, Mo Jones a little bit higher, but there wasn't as many sex scenes in this because this is the first installment and we are world building. And there's a definite world that we have to build. We are building a historical world and we're building this Hades Hollow kind of world. This kind of little off the beaten path town, but yet it's known and it's kind of hidden in the alcove, but yet people have heard about it. It's that place that you heard about, but you don't really know anything about, but everybody knows something about. It's that place. A lot of myths and lore about it. And so we're building this world, so I can understand why we don't have as much super spicy stuff as I wanted, but the spice that I got, it was great. It was fantastic. We have dominant language and submissive behavior being shown. And oh, the language. That's why Sparrow's a new favorite of mine. That's why he's a new favorite. Yeah, I love him. I want so much more from him. I want so much more. So many good lines. We have a crawl to me line. We have good girls. We have chin grabs. We've got it all. And something I love to see in reverse harem why choose romances, that not all of them I see is a group scene, and we have one, and it's fucking dope. It is very, very well done. I know where everybody's arms and legs and appendages and penises and mouths are, and I fucking loved every single sweaty second of that. I will flat admit I was in my car reading that on my lunch break, rereading that scene, and I definitely shouted out, yeah, he just fucking said crawl to me. And the guy that was mowing the lawn in the park definitely stopped and said, and watched me for a while, because I'm a very animated reader and I was talking during that scene, and he got a full earload, literally, of this scene, because it was dope. It was so hot. Oh my God, I had such a great time with it. It's definitely a rereadable scene for me. But big thing for me is I knew where everybody's appendages were. I didn't have to look anything up. I didn't have to try to figure anything out. I didn't have to try to actually sit down and be like, okay, he's here. She's bent like this. I didn't have to stop and do that. She writes her carnal, physical scenes very, very well, where you know where everybody's at. and where everything is at, and it makes sense where it's going, and you can kind of see the flow, and it feels very fluid. The positions that they switch into feel like very easily transitionable positions. It's not like, we're gonna go into the wall, and then we're gonna be on the bed, and then we're gonna be the chair. No, it's like from the chair to the floor to moving over to the bed by some point. It's very smooth transition. It's very realistic. It's very relatable in the transition to positions, which I really, really enjoy in group scenes because you don't normally have that. And I enjoy that a lot. Also, another thing that Mo Jones does really good in her sex scenes is she combines this fear and arousal component together, and it makes it very, very enticing. Yeah, if you are aroused when you're afraid, she does this really, really well. And the feelings that she writes in the internal monologues of her characters during these scenes is awesome because you are scared. You get the feeling of this fear, this fight or flight instinct while you're reading the book. But at the same time, what you're reading of physically happening to the character is making you want to do something other than run away. If you know what I mean. Yeah, and it's great. It's fantastic. And she does it so fucking well. And I love it. I love everything about those scenes. I love them. And we get a few of those in this. We do. And yes. 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 That's all I'm saying on that. Absolutely. Absolutely on that. Yes, they were fantastic. Now, I normally do not do this in reviews, but because she said in her trigger page that this tops EKC or Elite Kings Club, I wanted to talk about that. Normally, I don't do this. I normally don't compare authors' works to previous works in its own little section. It might happen in passing, but not an actual component. But I want to talk about this because she did specify this. And so I want to bring this up for people who have read Elite Kings Club that are thinking going in that this is going to be topping it. For you, it might. And for me, in areas, it did. So let's talk about it. So I feel like a lot of parts of this book was just Elite Kings Club in a different location. Different setting, too many similar components to make it feel like it was just Elite Kings Club in a different setting. However, this is darker, this is more graphic, and this is sure as shit bloodier. Oh yeah. But the revelations were so similar that it overshadowed those darker, more graphic, more bloodier moments. And the MOs, her mode of operations, her writing technique is very, very similar. She used a lot of her same tricks. And there's nothing fucking wrong with that because her tricks are fucking dope. She's a master at her craft. She fucking is, okay? She is. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you read Elite Kings Club, you're going to see a lot of the same tricks in this. If you read this and then go read Elite Kings Club, you're going to see the same tricks. This one, however, is darker, more graphic, and bloodier. Those are the areas where I really saw the difference. And also one other area. Elite Kings Club, when I read it, I said that I felt like I needed a cigarette, Jesus, and therapy. But Elite Kings Club ended. It had a cliffhanger, and it was a fucked up cliffhanger. But it ended. This book, I don't feel like I need Jesus. I don't feel like I need therapy, and I don't feel like I need a cigarette. What I feel like is like I'm coming out of anesthesia. I see a lot of shapes, but nothing's really making sense. I'm almost in a fog. And to kind of go along with the fact that they're in an ocean setting, I don't have my sea legs. I feel like I'm just kind of floating. And I can't really gain any solid ground. That's the feeling I left with this book. Now, is that a better feeling to leave a book with? Or just needing therapy and knowing that there's an ending, but there's a cliffhanger, but there's an ending. There's a cliffhanger in this, but it's a cliffhanger that leaves me so foggy that I'm just kind of lost right now. So did she top EKC? I don't know. I feel like they are two sides of the same coin. And it just depends on what you're looking for as a reader. So for my previous Emo Joan readers who have read Elite Kings Club and fucking adore it, please go into this knowing that this is not Elite Kings Club, but you will see a lot of similarities and you will see a lot of homage to it. But this is its own demon, its own beast. For those of you who have read this, but not read Elite Kings Club, know that if you go from this to Elite Kings Club, it's going to feel like she maybe almost regressed in her darkness, in her graphicness, and her fear factor. But her MOs and her revelations are still there. They're still perfect in that book, and they're perfect in this book. So just keep that in mind going into it. Yeah, I had a great time with this. I had a great time with EKC too. But I had a great time for this book for different reasons. Because here's my final thought. Brings me to my final thoughts. This is in the vein of EKC, but it is not EKC. EKC left me unanswered questions and a cliffhanger. This leaves me in a fog, out to sea, without a life vest, and I know Sparrow is not going to come and save me. I'm lost. And I don't know how to get out until September 1st when the next installment comes out. And so I'm just going to sit here floating around, trying to figure it out. Damn it. This thing was absolutely phenomenal. Final thought. This thing was great. It's great in its own right. And I finally found a reverse harem where I didn't hate the girl. I knew Emo Jones could give me that. I knew she could. And I am so fucking happy to have been selected as an ARC reader for this. This was a treat. And I had such a great fucking time with this. And I cannot wait to pick up the next installment. So, to Emo Jones, if you ever see this, I'm a big fan. And I love pretty much everything you've ever written. I have not read everything you've ever written. It's actually one of my goals this year to read everything you've ever written because I love the way you tell a story. I love that you're not scared to go into the dark crevices of the human psyche and the human experience to really delve deep and tear someone's heart out and make him look at it. I love the way you write. I love the way you reveal. I love the way you leave us wanting, but you always give us what we need. To maybe not satisfy us, but to satiate us. You do. And I do really, really enjoy that. And thank you for choosing me to be on your art team. It was the highlight of my year so far. I was definitely really wanting to be picked for this, and I can never thank you enough for this. I love your books and I love your personality, and I just love the way you can tell a story. So thank you for sharing your gift and your talent with us, and thank you for sharing this new installment with this new series. I'm really anxious to see where this goes and to see how it all resolves, because I'm out to sea right now. I'm out there just floating, hoping for a lifeline. So I hope you'll throw us something soon. Thank you again. I hope you enjoy this review. And the final rating for this book is a 4.5 star. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you guys all soon with another video. And if you haven't read Emo Jones yet, you should probably go out there and pick up one of her fucking books, okay? Thanks. Bye, guys.